What's going on, fellas? Yup. What is all this mess? There we go. All right, let's do this right here. Go. Let me see what my cost basis is. Nice. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Let's get this going. We're selling VB South rip packs today, boys. VB South rip pack. I gotta seal them up. They're not sealed yet. Seal them up right here. Right here. Hits out of the vault. Turn this up some. Go. It'd be nice if I had a proper table to do this on. I do not. What's going on, fellas? Holla at a playa when you see him in the street. That is not working. A bag sealer. Yeah, that worked. It's not working right. Yeah, there it goes. It's working now. Card Vault Rip Packs. Let's get rippy. Getting rippy with it. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Getting rippy with it. Let's roll. Card Vault Rip Packs. Yo, dog, I heard you like to rip packs, so we got you some rip packs that you can rip while you rip packs. Yo, dog. Why am I so retarded today? Everything I do is like fumbleoski. You ever have a day like that? Everything you do is just like messed up. Picketh thy number. Let's see. See if it did that right. What's up, Josh? Card Vault Rip Packs. There we go. You're the only one chatting, so yeah. Nice. Yeah, pretty cool hit. Good get, Josh. There's good stuff in these card vault rip packs too, let me tell you. Not bad, not bad. Just hanging out. Hey, buddy. See, Mommy brought you back in. Hey, buddy. Sent some text. Damn. Had some good pizza for dinner tonight.
So I take my Hyundai Sonata in for service.
All right. Oh, I'm awful snoozy today. How are you guys doing? Huh. Where'd my thing go? I had a cover there. I don't know, I must have deleted it accidentally. Let's re-add it. Go. It's not work. Not gonna work like that. So let's do this. I'm gonna go to the Book of Faces, also known as Facebook. Just getting on the dog again. Like it helps. Like it helps. Getting on the dog. Wow, 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 yippee yo, yippee yay. I know I posted that picture. She worries too much about what that dog does. She just needs to just not care. Just let it do what it does. Dog will be totally fucking fine. Annoys the crap out of me. My wife is wound up really tight. Really tight. I worry about her sometimes. She doesn't have the ability to say, well, screw it. I don't know what that's like. It's been one of the biggest, like, issues is that I can't understand that, and she can't understand me. So leads to a lot of discord. You know what I mean? You guys familiar with that? You guys ever see that happen? In your life, in your love life? Like, differences are great. You wouldn't want to date the same person that you are. You just wouldn't. But sometimes you don't understand the other person's actions and things about them, and it makes it difficult. I mean, we've been married like, what, 22, 23 years, and it's still a struggle. That part is. So, just gotta work through these things. And that's not a big one. That's a minor one. Who that texting me? Give me a minute, I'm looking for something. There it is. This is my camera cover we'll use whenever I just need to cover the camera. Alright. Found it. Now let's see who's texting me. Who daddy is? That's just my baby mama. Who daddy is? Who daddy is? Roki Sasaki to the Dodgers. Roki Sasaki to the Dodgers. right, we have Card Vault Rip Packs VB South Edition. Come get them. All right. Let's take a look at the YouTubes today. What? All right, let's check this out. I did not know this, and I do not like this.
Topps flagship black parallels are officially dead as we know them. So we've got confirmation. Yesterday I released a video when we saw the checklist, well, the parallel checklist for 2025 Topps Series 1. We also saw the card design, and black wasn't on there. The interesting thing is this happened last year in 2024 as well. Black wasn't on there, but it was okay. It was the retail checklist. The difference between this year and last year, though, is there were hobby exclusive parallels on this checklist. Like the clear was on there, but the black was still missing. So we operated under the assumption it'd be the same exact situation. We're here early, nothing to worry about, but we've gotten confirmation from somebody at Topps and Fanatics that this is true. That Topps flagship parallels, as they have historically been since 2003, are no longer going to be in packs. This is a big deal. I know I'm going to get people commenting how I'm being overly dramatic or that this isn't a big problem. A lot of people are upset by this. A lot of people are really mad that the Topps black parallel is dead because it's been that way since 2003. People have runs of these cards of, like, let's say Clayton Kershaw from 2008 to 2024, and it just stops. They're replacing the black parallel with a black foil numbered to 10. And we'll talk about why that is and the problems associated with.
I don't know why that could be. That's just going to decrease the number of overall parallels that are available in the product. And when you ramp up print lines and you decrease the number of parallels, you really put fewer parallels per box. I hate it. I hate it. I don't understand it. One sec. Let's see what Scotty's reason is.
That. But either way, it's frustrating to know that Topps does not really understand the collector very much. People opening packs may not even know these black cards exist because they are so hard to pull. When is the last time you pulled the clear out of 10 out of flagship? You probably haven't. I think I pulled one. And so these black cards are going to be impossible to hit and not going to be the same legacy that has been there historically since 2003. One thing I will say is this all could be a misunderstanding when we were asking the representative at Topps these questions about if this is exactly what's going on, but they were very clear that they are replacing the black with the black foil that we're going to talk about. So hopefully this is blown out of proportion from, information we've received, but at the same time, I think on social media, everybody's posting about this as if it's happening. So we're going to move forward in this video as if it's happening, and hopefully there's an update a couple days from now, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So here's the flagship design. It's pretty good looking, actually. I have nothing against that. And here is the
It is good looking. Great design.
The big thing is they lowered the print run on these cards over here. We'll talk about why. They also got rid of Father's Day, Mother's Day, as well as the black parallel. We're seeing introduction of the...
Wait. They got rid of Father's Day and Mother's Day as well? Those were always such good value to the Ripper. I don't know, man. Really hope they didn't crank print runs up on this because it'll be awful dry for color per box if they did that.
The canvas out of 50, the gold rainbow out of 50, the wood out of 25. Here is the black rainbow foil out of 10 and the red rainbow foil out of 5. So here is last year, 2024 versus 2025. So the reason why this is happening is Topps is trying to match Topps Chrome to flagship, which is great. That's fine, right? So we're seeing the blue foil. It was numbered to $9.99 last year. Now it's out of $150 because that's what it is.
That is so misguided. The problem with that is that the print run or the box run in Chrome is way lower than the box run of flagship. So what it's going to do is it's just going to put less inserts per box in flagship. Yeah.
is in Topps Chrome. The Topps Chrome blue refractors are at 150. We also see the purple is $7.99 last year. Now it's at $250, which is the same with Topps Chrome. Green is at a $99 now, which is the same as Topps Chrome. Red is at a $5, which is the same as Topps Chrome. And the black went from, should be $74 this year. In 2003, it was introduced at $52. It goes up one every single year. Should be $74, $75. I think it's $75 this year. Either way, that is now out of $10. And the interesting thing about this is the black parallel from Topps Chrome last year, the Topps Chrome black refractor, has been in existence in that format for 1 year, and they completely destroyed the legacy of the flagship black for that. So that's why people are so upset. So these are the parallels that are now gone. It looks like permanently Mother's Day out of 50, which was introduced in 2013, so about 12 years ago. Father's Day, which was introduced in 2017, so what is that, 8 years ago now? That's crazy, it's been 8 years. And now the black parallel that started at 52, and that would have been, I believe, 75 in 2025.
Yeah, he made a good point. Why didn't they just do away with the Topps Chrome black, or make the Topps Chrome black in the next series numbered to the same as the black paper? Because those black papers are really, really freaking popular. And why do they even need to be the same? Yeah. Hey, Charles. Hey, Charles. Thank you for the pizza.
So what is so important about this black parallel? Why are people so mad about the black parallel being gone? Well, that's because this is the longest standing parallel outside of the gold. The gold was introduced in 2001 in the current format. There have been Topps Gold before that, but the gold and flagship since 2001 numbered to the year it was produced. So in 2001, there were 2001 gold Albert Pujols rookie cards. And then in 2003, they introduced the black out of 52, and that has been continuous since then. And this was the only other numbered parallel from 2003 to 2010, with basically one exception of the cloth parallel, I believe, being out of 50, and it was like a card with a cloth like image of the card inside. It was weird. Either way, I don't really count that as a true parallel, but that has been the only parallel, the main parallel for Topps. People have been collecting them, and they're very sought after, and they go for a high amount. And all of these rookies, Yadier Molina, Zach Greinke, Justin Verlander, Joey Votto, Clayton Kershaw, Max Scherzer, Buster Posey, Chris Sale, John Stan, Mike Trout, Paul Goldschmidt, Jose Altuve, Nolan Arenado, Garrett Cole, Mookie Betts, Jose Ramirez, Francisco Lindor, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Ronald Acuna Jr., Shohei Ohtani, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Jordan Alvarez, Bobby Witt Jr., Julio Rodriguez, Gunnar Henderson, Corbin Carroll, and many, many other players have the black flagship parallel, and that's essentially their best version of their flagship. You may have a few situations where it's not the case, with like the 2011 Hope Diamond or the 2018 Independence Day, but overall the black is the flagship card to target, and that is now.
Scotty B is a walking encyclopedia of flagship, by the way. He really knows flagship. You just saw that was off the dome. He wasn't reading that. He was able to do that because he knows it. And it's impressive, Scotty.
No longer in existence, which is unfortunate. And what they're doing, we saw this last year in 2024. They had the Platinum 1-of-1s introduced in 2006. That's the third oldest parallel, the 1-of-1. And that continued all the way till 2023. In 2024, they introduced the Platinum foil parallel. Nobody really complained that much because it was still the platinum, but it looks exactly like a rainbow foil to me. Here's a rainbow foil on the left, here's the platinum 1-of-1 on the right, versus the strong bold borders. It's not a big deal because they're so rare, nobody really noticed, to be fully transparent. But with the black, it's going to be a bigger problem. I asked my audience about this, and 83% said this is a big deal. I worded that terribly, but still 513 votes, and only 17% or 104 votes said it's not that big of a deal. So a majority of the hobby, at least on my audience, cares about this and views this as a negative. And I feel similarly. I think this is a really bad judgment choice by Fanatics. I think this is a terrible move. I really do. I don't say that often. I think what they've done in the past is fine with like adding things in, like the rookie debut patch autograph. That's great because you didn't get rid of the Bowman Chrome Superfractor to do it. Those aren't apples to apples. And in Fanatics' eyes, they probably feel like they're keeping the black legacy alive, but they're not. When is that to be pulled out of 10 clear from flagship? I think.
Yeah, it's short-sighted. Why? I'm all for reducing the number of parallels, but not like this. Not like this. I mean, those blacks are they're a cornerstone in the hobby, and now they're just gone. Yeah, I hate it. Thanks, Topps.
I think I pulled one before. before. They're very hard to pull, and these are going to be just as hard to pull, especially because the out of clear is a hobby only. If we put these out of 10 across all products, you're never going to pull these cards, and they aren't going to hit the market, and that legacy is now gone. Collectors who want them, where it's plentiful enough where people can find them and buy them and collect them, but not too plentiful where they're not worth anything, and that has kind of been ruined. And like I mentioned, adding things to Topps is great. If you want, Fanatics wants to add stuff like the frozen fractors, the negative numbering, or the taco fractors, or whatever they want to do. That's cool. That's cool. Go ahead and add stuff. But don't take away for flagship, which is your bread and butter product, the most important parallel from the bread and butter product that people like. Like, I don't understand. I understand trying to match Topps Chrome to flagship, which is fine. That's cool. But if you're going to do that, why don't you, like I actually have it down here. Here's some free advice. Why don't you match the Topps Chrome Black Refractor that's basically new this year? It's been in the past. I know that, but they discontinued it and they renewed it in 2024. Why don't you match that to the flagship parallel? Like, and it's still consistent, right? And every year it goes up one. Not only will that keep the flagship parallel alive, that'll help the Topps Chrome Black Refractor be worth more because it's more plentiful. It's the exact same situation as the Black Parallel, and people will view them as the same thing. I feel like it's a pretty obvious change. It's some free advice. Go ahead and do that for next product. Say it was a mistake. Say it was just an imprinting error. No problem, right? But you can do that and it would fix all of these issues. But it is disheartening. I've seen a lot of collectors who are very frustrated that their collections that they've been doing runs on are kind of not the same. And yes, baseball collectors are a different breed. They aren't really the same when it comes to other sports collectors. This is a big deal to them. And again, maybe we're being overly dramatic, but this has been the longest standing Topps flagship parallel besides the gold ever. And we just decided that, you know what? We like the out of 10 foil better when it's really not as good. Flagship, there's no clear card that you want to collect like there was with the Black Parallel. Who knows? Maybe we're being overly dramatic, but either way, I don't understand this perspective from Topps. I don't think it's the right move, and I just want to share my thoughts. Usually I try to be pretty positive, and this one is kind of, I just am scratching my head. I don't really get what's going on. So other than that, let me know in the comments down below if you agree or disagree with my.
All right, yeah, I mean, like, I don't find myself disagreeing with Scotty that much. Scotty's normally on point. He knows more about cards than I do. But let's see what he's got to say about best rookies.
Hey guys, it's Scott with Scotty B Cards. In this video, I want to look at the top rookies in 2025 Topps Series 1. 2025 Topps Series 1, and that's exciting. That's exciting because we have a brand new product, brand new rookies, brand new design. It's a good looking product, and we're going to break down the top rookies in this set to target. When I'm saying target, this is solely based off of a small formula I do, which is 4 categories: age, prospect ranking, minor league stats, and major league stats. All 4 are important. You can't go off major league stats alone because some players only play a handful of games really bad or really well, and then they do better or worse as their career progresses. So we're including age and prospect ranking and minor league stats alongside the major league stats. To give you a rundown, here are numbers 17 through 11. We'll get into the top 10 in a moment, but you'll see age if they are 21, like Nacho Alvarez, great baseball name, they get 9 points. If they are 23, they get 7 points, like Reese Hines. If they have a prospect ranking in the top 60, like Jace Young here, you'll get 4 points if you're a 60 prospect. If you're in the top 40s, you get 6 points, like Hurston Waldrep, and so forth. On top of that, minor league stats, major league stats, 1 to 10, how well you played, pretty straightforward. Heavier emphasis on recent years in the minor leagues compared to earlier years in the minor leagues. Then we average that and have the score on the right. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a pretty top-heavy class. Pretty top-heavy class. There's 2 players, maybe 3 you could argue are very good. And then the rest are all kind of in the middle. And we'll discuss that. But at number 10, we have Spencer Schwellenbach. Great name. Look at Spencer Schwellenbach right here. He had a great year in Major League Baseball, which is why you're going to see he had an 8 for Major League stats, 8 for minor league stats. He was not a top-ranked prospect, and he is 24 years old, which is how he got 6 points there. But if we look at his numbers, 2.7 WAR, 8 wins at the 3.35 ERA, very low whip. A 1.04 whip is fantastic. That's great. If we scroll down to his minor league stats here, he was this particular year, where is it? For 20, right here. He had a 1.8 ERA in only 8 games started before getting bumped to the big leagues. So Spencer Schwellenbach had a fantastic year. At number 9, we have Aurelvis Martinez for the Toronto Blue Jays, 22 years old, the top 80-ish prospect that we'll look at in a moment. Good minor league stats and about average major league stats. So here he is again. He was in the top 90s and 80s. You could say 89, almost 90. He had how many games at the big league level? 4. He had 4 games, which is why we have 4 categories here. I said he was average because how can you say 92 OPS plus, 0 WAR? It's hard to say anything more than a 5. Either way, though, he is pretty good in AAA this year. He had 17 home runs as a 22-year-old with a 267 average and 869 OPS. So that's pretty dang solid. If we look at his minor league career number.
Yeah, Orvelis is good. I've got cards. He's also great defensively.
You can see he's actually played a ton of games for a player who's only 22 years old. 455 games, 110 home runs, 244 career batting average, and 834 OPS. Love to see that get higher for the batting average, but if that's not his game, that's not his game, and that's okay. After that, we have number 8. This is Drew Thorpe for the Chicago White Sox. Another pitcher. Pitchers are hard to really buy. Maybe I should add a 5th category is like I give 1 extra point to hitters. But either way, Drew Thorpe, he was a top prospect heading into this year. Baseball Prospectus had him at number 45. Baseball America at 58. Major League Baseball at 85. He was 3-3 with a 5.48 ERA, which is why if we look at his numbers, basically league average. Maybe I was too nice there with the 5.48, but realistically with a 0.0 WAR, I could have given him maybe a 4 or so, but it wouldn't have bumped him off the list. But here's Drew Thorpe. His minor league stats are great. He's had 34 games started with a 2.17 ERA with a whip below 1. Can't really do much better than that. And if we look at his year this year in the minors in 2024, he pitched 11 games for a 1.35 ERA, a 7.1 his win-loss record. So pretty solid for Drew Thorpe. At number 7, we have Brooks Lee. Brooks Lee for the Twins, solid ball player, has not translated to the big league level, but he's also a top prospect. He was number 35, 18, and 52. Minor league
Brooks was supposed to be the most major league ready guy of his draft, and that definitely did not work out. Brooks has struggled with the wood bat in pro ball, especially if you look at his freaking college stats. The guy was through the roof, and now he's like, but he has shown some glimmer of greatness. So we'll see.
Stats are pretty solid overall. Let's look at his numbers in 2024 for the minors right here. He had a 961 OPS with a 331 batting average. Not a ton of power, only 8 home runs this year across how many plate appearances? 156, that's not quite fair, but 35 games. Once he got to the big leagues, the power wasn't there with only 3 home runs, but it's hard to say that, he's never going to translate to power at 23. Either way, he is 23, top 30-ish prospect, good minor league stats, and below average major league stats so far. At number 6, we have Adel Amador for the Rockies. I love the Rockies, wearing a Royals hat today, but Rockies, you rock. Here he is. He was really hyped up heading into this season. Didn't quite perform to how they hoped. In the minor league stats this particular year, he wasn't great. 230 batting average with a 719 OPS. He did have 14 home runs and 52 RBI. And on top of that, if we go look at his career minor league stats, 273 average with the 819 heading into 2024. He had a big 2023 where he took that next step, which I got those higher prospect rankings, but he is 21 years old, a top 20s prospect. Minor league stats I put average, and major league stats I put they were bad. They weren't good. He had an 8 OPS plus. That's not good. It can go below 0, so it's not as low as it could possibly get. But either way, he did not quite translate yet. But again, that was only 10 games at the big league level. Adel Amador is one of my favorite prospects as a Rockies fan, but we'll see how it turns out. At number 5, we have Jacob Wilson for the Oakland Athletics, 22 years old. He is a top prospect. He's in the 70s or so. His minor league stats are very good. His major league stats have not quite translated yet. But again, that's a very common theme we're going to be seeing here.
Jacob Wilson is a beast. Was a beast in the minors. If he gets on a run, he's going to be really good.
Let's look at his minor league stats first. Here you can see his number 68, number 76 for Baseball America and Major League Baseball. And if we scroll down to AAA this year, AAA, AA, and Rookie Ball, he was amazing in 53 games. 433 batting average, yes, in the 400s with a 1.142 OPS. I know some of the, not Oakland Athletics, who are they? The Sacramento Athletics, the Las Vegas Athletics, that their ballparks are very hitter friendly. Like Las Vegas is very hitter friendly. Either way, he still had 7 home runs, 39 RBI, and a 433 batting average. Let's say it's super hitter friendly. He only has a 330 batting average. That's still very good. But at the big league level, he had 0 home runs, 250 batting average with a negative .2 WAR and an 85 OPS plus. But again, that was only in 28 games. It's a decent sample size, getting a little bit bigger. What is that, like
92 at bats?
Come Major League season. Either way, he is number 5 solely essentially for the minor league stats and his age. After that, we have Rhett Lauder for the Cincinnati Reds. Rhett Lauder had a great pitching season. He went 2-2 with a 1.17 ERA, a 1.9 WAR, 1.2 WHIP. He does walk a lot of hitters. And if we go look at his minor league stats, they aren't as good. 3.64 career minor league ERA, and that is almost identical. Actually, that is identical to his ERA this year in 2024 in the minor leagues, which is way about above average. The 6 for.
I mean, that really came as a surprise for me because he plays in the Great American Small Park. I would love to see his splits. Maybe I'll go look them up.
The minor leagues, but big league stats, fantastic. He is a top prospect, so it's not just like a random fluke. Scouts have been high on him. Number 60, number 34, number 49 for his minor league rankings. But Rhett Lauder has had a fantastic 2024. Hard to put a pitcher this high, but I don't know how I could have lowered him. Look at all the 5.5s and 6s tied. I ranked these essentially to my own opinion at this point because there's so many tied. And then he's kind of the next step up when it comes to numbering in this system. But at number 3, we have Kobe Mayo for the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles just have tons of young guys, and you can see everything is good for Kobe Mayo except for his big league stats. Minor league stats, fantastic. Prospect ranking, top 20s. Age 22, that's great. But look at Kobe Mayo. You can see he had a negative 10 OPS plus, so worse than Amador's. Negative 0.7 WAR. He played 17 games. Maybe it's hard to get playing time because they're so loaded with prospect talent. But look at his minor league stats for this year. He had 293 with a 964 OPS and 25 home runs in only 93 games. Look at every single stop. He's been good. 283 batting average with a 921 OPS for his minor league career with 82 home runs. So Kobe Mayo, it's maybe his year next year, and because of that, he is here higher. Again, if we even said he was a 1 instead of a 2, he could be below Rhett Lauder, but I think where he's at is just fine. Then we have the 2 nationals. We have Dylan Cruz. Dylan Cruz, everybody is high on Dylan Cruz. He is a consensus top 10 prospect in Major League Baseball. He wasn't bad this year. He wasn't great yet, but again, he is only 22. He had 8 points right here, which makes sense. 10 points for being a top 10 prospect. But if we look at Dylan Cruz, we can see his minor league stats aren't the best. There's a lot of potential here, right? He's a good defender. On top of that, he's a good offensive player, but that's going to develop. Scouts are very high on him, but we can see 13 home runs in 2024 in the minor leagues in 100 games with a 270 batting average and a 792 OPS. And then in the big leagues, he had a 219 batting average with a 641 OPS and 3 home runs with good defense. So that is Dylan Cruz. And at number 1, we have James Wood. Not really a surprise, very easily the best player to go after in this set. He probably will be chased for a majority of the year. So a lot of players not in this rookie class that you might expect, but they'll probably be in Series 2. But either way, James Wood, 21 years old, top 10 prospect. Minor league stats are in 9, major league stats are in 8. So if you don't know who James Wood is, he had 1.1 WAR with a 122 OPS plus. He's 6'7" with 90th percentile sprint speed, 95 percentile sprint speed. We're right around there, very fast. He's a top 10 prospect. Look at his minor league stats, 941 career OPS with a 302 batting average. He was traded over for Juan Soto in the Juan Soto deal from the Padres, and he has been fantastic for them. So, and he's going to be fantastic for them. This young, making his major league debut. Overall, though, this year in the minor leagues, 353 batting average, a 1.058 OPS in 52 games with 10 home runs and 10 stolen bases. So he's a solid ball player. The Nationals look poised to be very good for years to come, which is exciting. I always like that for not major market teams. But overall, that is my top 10 list. I even have extras down here. You have Nacho Alvarez. I wanted to include him with one of the best baseball.
Hey, Don. Nacho Mauricio is? I got either Dylan Cruz or James Wood. I got either Dylan Cruz or James Wood. Somebody from the Nationals. I think the Nationals are going to look a bit like the Orioles did. Now, I don't know if they're going to do anything like the Orioles did, but, you know. All right, let's check out bonus. We are a ways away. We have 2,082 entries left to go on that bonus. 2,082. Let's get that Roger Maris rookie. We need to sell 21 of these rip packs. Let's go! Rip packs! This is the first day for my new rip packs. First freaking day. I mean, the $50 ones are tougher to hit. These are $100. They're a little better. They're actually a lot better. They have floor cards in them, but every floor card, like they have like $15 floor cards, but every $15 floor also has a set spot with it. Go Mariners. Do any hit? Yes, some do hit. I think the top card is like $800 in them. Oh, there is a Luca Obsidian Preview in a tin. There's a Joe Burrow Mosaic Blue. There's a nice Travis Bazana Orange in there too. There's some break-even cards too. What you doing, pup? What you doing, pup? Based. Nice, nice. Joe Burrow's top card. Based, 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 based. Do it. Ah. Ear itches. All right, let's see if anybody got any rip packs. Tim Scallon, you can get a rip pack? Rip pack! Let's see what kind of set spots I got. I'll throw in a bonus for the rip pack. First person to buy 2 rip packs is also going to get... Is also going to get... a 65 top football set break spot. $50. There's 50 packs, and first person to buy 2 is going to get a 65. You'll tell me what number, and I'll pull the number. They're all on the table with the exception of some cards I bought from Charles Perry that are not here yet. Yes, I have nothing but rip packs. That is correct. You can thank FedEx for that and a snowstorm. Or at least that's what FedEx said. So we're just doing the best we can with what we got, you know. Oh shit. I gotta look at something real quick. Zalman. 39, 35.9. One sec. All right. Had to go check something. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Making do. Making copies. I mean, these rip packs are damn good, though. That's why I'm spicing it up today, though. The form is giving me problems. Go. Who trying to get some rip packs? You going in, Tim? There's an active cart. Hmm. Let me know what we're getting done. Let's see what happened to that cart. Oh, now that cart is checking out. It's checking out. Yeah, I'd facilitate that if that's what y'all want to do. Joe doesn't really like break credit though, because he likes modern product. Checking out Tim Scallon. I think it's Tim. We'll find out. Go. Let's get that over the finish line, whoever's making that purchase. Just bring my dog in and shut the office door. Just checking on her. All right. Let's get going, fellas. Ah. All right, I'm back. Check this out here. Ooh, we lost it. I lost you. Oh, he might be. Ugh. What's his name? Phil Beavers. go. He is indeed in the chat. Y'all be messaging. Alright, let me check back in with what I was working on. I think I need another gummy. If I'm going to weather this today, I need another gummy. If I'm going to weather abandoned checkout, I need another gummy. These I'm still on these mint rings. They're a little weaker than my normal gummies, but I just eat 2 of them. Either they're weaker or I'm building up a tolerance. Did you email you? You've got me. Who's got you? Yeah. Yeah. I'm bored, people. I'm bored. And if I'm bored, I know y'all bored. Let's see what else we can find on the YouTubes. We watched some of Scotty B's videos. Spitballing has one out. Huh. I don't know who that guy is, so. Alright, yeah, let's watch. This guy's really intelligent, so let's listen to what he has to say. Chris.
Here, baseball card collector, investor, dealer, in that order. Welcome, everyone. As a dealer, I grade a lot of cards. It's a very important part of my business, and in the past and still today, I predominantly use PSA, and that's simply because they generally sell for the highest, and that's affects my bottom line and affects my business and affects my livelihood. So I generally use PSA. However, a notable shift in something for me is that I've been recently starting to use SGC quite a bit more. I think there's very clear justification from a financial standpoint at times to use SGC, at least a lot more now than there was in the past. So today I wanted to just go over a little bit of that and discuss two of the situations where I now tend to send my cards to SGC as opposed to PSA, and I'll give a couple examples of both. Before we jump in, I want to let everyone know that my boy Jeremy Donson at the Texas Snowman's Auction House (CIA) is up and running right now. It's a monthly auction, and the January auction just launched. Run for another 9-ish days or so from the release of this video. It'll be the first auction to feature some of the cards from the incredible Atlanta collection that Jeremy bought with his partner Bill Hughes. Did a video on that a couple weeks ago. But yeah, just some amazing stuff in the auction as always. Some really nice high end stuff. Lots of regular roller items. It's just a really impressive auction house. I'm very proud of Jeremy for what he's built here. I'm a small stakeholder in the auction and obviously believe in it heavily. So I encourage everyone to check it out. I've included links to all that in the description down below. All right, so there's sort of two categories of cards that I've identified, at least for me, where it sort of makes sense to send to SGC, and there's lots of exceptions to that. But in general, these two categories of cards, and I'll go over those in just a sec here. But each of PSA or SGC or any of the grading companies are going to have pluses or minuses versus the others. But to me, there's three benefits to SGC over PSA. One is that it's cheaper. It's $15 a card instead of $19 a card, so it's $4 cheaper per card. Two is much faster. If you send a package to SGC, I expect to get it back in 2 weeks, whereas if I send a package to PSA, it might be 2 to 3 months. It could even be longer than that. And third is I find their grading to be more consistent. Like if they're not stricter or less strict, just more consistent. Like if I send a card in, if I look at a card and I think this should be a 7, and I send it to SGC, I think it's more likely to get the 7 than if I do the same with PSA. Those are the benefits to SGC. Obviously, there's benefits to PSA. Again, PSA tends to outsell SGC, but these three benefits sort of have shifted the scale a little bit in terms of me using them more. And as I said, there's sort of two categories of cards that for me it now sort of makes sense to use SGC. There's a vintage category and a modern category. I'll go over the vintage one first. And that's vintage cards that are sort of in the mid-level value, saying in the sort of 50 to $100 range, maybe up to 150, somewhere in there. I've found that, yeah, it just sort of makes more financial sense for me to use SGC, much of the time. Let's take this 1973 Topps Roberto Clemente, for example. That's his last playing days card. And let's say I had this card and it was sort of upper middle grade, and I thought it would grade either a 6 or a 7, somewhere around there. And I was trying to decide between PSA and SGC. Well, if we look at sales of PSA 6s versus SGC 6s, here's some recent sales of each over the last couple months. And you can see on the left, the PSAs range from, it looks like 43 up to about 100. And on the right, very similar, from about 50 up to about 90. So we're very, very comparable sales between a PSA 6 and an SGC 6. If you go up to the 7s, here PSA starts to pull away a little bit. The PSA 7 is definitely outselling the SGC 7s overall. There's no sales in the PSA column, under $100, whereas there's quite a few in the SGC column. So much lower floor for the SGC 7. But it's not a huge difference. Like if you took the average of the sales on the left versus the average of the sales on the right, maybe it's like a
He's using VCP there, vintage card prices. I dig it. Good website.
$10, $20 difference, something like that. And so when you factor in the fact that SGC is $4 cheaper and much quicker, plus the fact that there's less likely of a chance that it's going to come back like a bizarre puzzler grade with SGC, to me, there's enough benefits to SGC to make up for the small incremental difference in value. So for me, this is a card I would now send to SGC, whereas in the past I would have always sent this card to PSA. And to be clear, if this was like a super high grade card, then for me, PSA would be the no brainer choice because a PSA 9 is going to, greatly outsell an SGC 9. Same thing probably as eights. You'd just be leaving too much money on the table to go with SGC if it was super high.
Yeah, so that's something I've always said. Mid-grade vintage goes to SGC. Mid-grade vintage goes to SGC, and that's just the way it is. And that's never not been true. So
High grade, but when you're down in the, like I said, $50 to $150 range, I think it's close enough where the benefits of SGC come into play and sort of swing the pendulum in their favor, at least for me. All right, one more vintage example to show you, which basically just shows the exact same thing. 1965 Topps Sandy Koufax. Let's say I own this card and I thought it would grade around a 3 or a 4. Well, PSA 3 sales versus SGC 3 sales, shown here on the left versus right. The PSA has a slight edge for sure, ranging from about 50 up to 110, whereas the SGC ranges from about 50 up to about 85. So a higher ceiling for PSA, but overall, pretty close. If we look at the PSA 4 versus the SGC 4, again, PSA definitely has a slight edge with a little bit of higher floor and a little bit higher ceiling.
yeah, and PSA, if it's on the border between a 3 and a 4, PSA has been 3ing it a lot lately and not 4ing it. So that's another thing to consider.
But not a huge difference overall. I mean, maybe the average of the PSA sales is like $10 to $20 higher than the average of the SGC sales. So for me, when you factor in the fact that SGC is $4 cheaper, it's much quicker, and there's less of a chance of a puzzler grade. As a reseller, it's justified for me to use SGC for this type of card. All right, next, the modern category of card that I've started using SGC on, at least somewhat. And this category is kind of hard to define because there's a lot of nuance around it. But it's roughly cards that are not super rare, but do have quite a bit of value, and your copy has no chance at a 10. That's basically how I would define it. Let's take this Patrick Mahomes 2017 Donruss Patrick Mahomes rookie. This is not a rare card at all, but it's very valuable as it's the rookie of the great Patrick Mahomes. Let's say you had this card and it had no chance at a 10, like it had a dinged corner, or it was a little bit off centered, something like that. Well, this is the type of card that I now consider SGC with, whereas I never would have in the past. If I thought the card had a good shot at a 10, I would definitely use PSA because, again, you just be sort of leaving too much money on the table
Mahomes,
and
nice.
not give yourself the chance at the PSA 10. But if a 10 was not in play because it had, again, a ding or something, then in my experience recently with modern cards like this, PSA is a little stricter when there's just one minor little ding, and they'll often take a tiny little minor issue and drop it down to an 8 or even like a 7 at times. And so I feel like if, let's say I thought this card was a 9, I think there'd be a much stronger chance you'd get the 9 with SGC than PSA. Looking at sales of PSA 9s versus SGC 9s, PSA clearly has the advantage here. The average of the PSA sales is maybe 340, 350 or so, whereas the average of the SGC sales is more like 300. So it's a 40 or $50 difference advantage to PSA, and the fact that SGC is $4 cheaper and and faster. That certainly doesn't make up for $40 to $50. But if you consider, at least in my experience, that you're more likely to get a lower grade with PSA, and then suddenly you're selling the card for much less than the SGC9. I think it's reasonable here to say that if you sort of zoom out big picture, SGC is at least a reasonable option from a reseller standpoint. All right, and one more modern to just sort of showcase that idea again. 2020 Panini Prism Red Wave Prism LeBron James. And this card itself is actually somewhat rare, but there's a bazillion parallels of it, so in that sense, it's not really that rare. But yeah, it fits all the criteria. Not a particularly rare card. In fact, it's parallel. It does have value, and in this case, yeah, the one on screen is clearly
That's
also
way off center. I would never even sub that.
so same sort of thing. Let's say you thought this card would grade most likely a 9. PSA 9s on the left there, maybe average $75, $80 or so. The SGC on the right averages maybe, you know, $65, $70.
Oh,
So
you
that's
didn't
a
even hear
$10
that.
difference.
So he's wrong here. Let me show you why he's wrong. He's wrong because look at the time frame here. Look at how long this is going. You've got October 23 right here. You have over here. You have 10/30/2024. So this is like 3 months ago. This is like a year and 3 months ago. So there's just a lot of time here. You know. Plus, with that centering he had, there's no way I'd sub that card anyway, with that specific copy.
I think the benefits to SGC are more than enough to make up for that small difference in value. Again, particularly the fact that I think PSA is more likely to knock it down extra grades because of one minor issue. But that's it, and just to be clear, this is just something I've started doing.
Yeah, good video, Chris. Really, really good video. I dig it. He's mostly right. Go. All right, let's see if anyone got in. No, we had 10 Scallon on the hook, but we let him go. We let him off the hook. They were who they thought they were. They were who we thought they were. go. Huh. Let's see, anyone getting in? I don't think so, boys.